Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 76 in the book of John. Today's title is The Shepherd, I Am the Good One, because that's the literal Greek for I am the Good Shepherd. Now, so far, at least in my opinion, I want to be a part of the flock of God. In my opinion, it's been a pretty attractive advertisement. It's Jesus saying, I call them my own. I go before them. I speak to them. My voice is known to them. They're called specifically by name, and he leads them to safety and protects them. That's kind of what we've got so far. And then it's going to get turboed today with Jesus saying, I am the Good Shepherd. This is from John chapter 10, verse 11 and following. I am the Good Shepherd. The Good Shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. He who is a hired hand and not a shepherd, who does not own the sheep, he sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and flees. And the wolf snatches them and scatters them. He flees because he is a hired hand and cares nothing for the sheep. I am the Good Shepherd, verse 14. All right, so write this down. The quality of the sheepfold is dependent upon the quality of the shepherd. And the character of the flock is ultimately determined by the character of the shepherd. So the excellence of the experience of being a sheep correlates directly with the excellence of the shepherd himself. So let's talk about the hired hand first of all and dismiss with him. He's described specifically as not a shepherd because shepherd is being described so beautifully here. So he's not a shepherd. He's not an owner. He's a hired hand. Ultimately, he cares nothing for the sheep. He's watching for the wolf, but not on behalf of the sheep. He's watching for the wolf on behalf of himself. So self-centered. So when the wolf comes, he flees. He does, sort of self-wolf behavior rather than caring wolf behavior. And that results in the wolf snatching and scattering and doing all this nasty stuff. So enough about the hired hand, because that's not what the passage is about. It's almost as a contrast. The question today is, what kind of a shepherd do we have? Well, he tells us, I am the Good Shepherd. The shepherd, I'm the good one. So good means beautiful, useful, valuable, and praiseworthy. So what characterizes the shepherd? He tells us here, it's life and death. It's sacrifice. It's commitment unto death if necessary. So Jesus is describing and foreshadowing his voluntary sacrificial death that's coming. So he does something of critical usefulness. He solves a death problem. He solves a sin problem. He is one of infinite value and eternal praiseworthiness. So we are going to be thinking about this name for God, the Good Shepherd, forever. And we're going to be praising God forever because of it. So a good shepherd is, let's talk about the definition of it. Now, we've already gone through ownership, and he's invested in the flock. He's protecting the flock. He's putting unsnatchability over his flock. He's caring for the flock. It's this unexplainable focus on the sheep. And then today, he's going to turbo it by saying, I'm going to do this and commit all the way unto death. So I'm going to lay down my life that I may take it up again. So he's going to hint at the resurrection here in verse 17. This is coming on tomorrow's passage. For this reason the Father loves me, because I lay down my life that I may take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have authority to lay it down, and I have authority to take it up. So Jesus is the authority for death and suffering, but also for resurrection. So this is more than just a definition for the disciples. This is going to be a prediction and a prophecy so that the light bulb should go on for them, is that when you see sacrifice and death, remember the goodness. And then it's not just death for no reason. It's death for a purpose, death for a flock, death for sheep. And this is the substitutional atonement. We've talked about it before, the associative coattail Christianity, that he does this, we associate with it, and we get the benefits of it. So in conclusion here, today. The quality of the sheepfold is dependent upon the quality of the shepherd. The character of the flock is ultimately determined by the character of the shepherd. So today, it all points to the shepherd, the good shepherd. And he associates goodness with this willing, substitutionary, sacrificial death and the commensurate suffering that goes along with it. So the good shepherd calls and he calls his own. He goes before them. He speaks to them. His voice is known to them. He leads them to safety. It protects them and lays down his life. Not for no reason, but for one reason, which is for the sheep. So Jesus says that I am the good shepherd. Of what? Of who? Well, hopefully, now let's turn to us a little bit. Hopefully it's a cooperative, obedient set of grateful sheep. We could have gotten, the hired hand who doesn't care, doesn't speak to us, doesn't name us, doesn't lead us in any sort of way, and then and doesn't lay down his life, in fact, flees. So the quality of the sheepfold is dependent upon the quality of the shepherd, and the character of the flock is ultimately determined by the character of the shepherd. So then looking to us, what kind of flock are we? He's the good shepherd. I guess you could ask, am I a good sheep? What kind of a sheep am I? Am I even in the flock? My call or my charge and my encouragement is we have this winsome flock. Let's be a part of it. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.